Good morning, children. Today we are going to start part 2 of lesson 4. In the previous video, you people have discussed regarding the pressure belts. And in this video, we are going to discuss regarding the classification of winds, humidity, precipitation and condensation. Let us start the video now. So today's topic important and first topic is classification of winds. So what is a wind? Wind is we call in a different way like a breeze whatever it is, but the movement of wind will be in a different way. Wind blows from high pressure area to low pressure area. So depending upon the wind speed, their features, their directions, the way they occur, winds are classified into three types. So those three types are planetary winds, seasonal winds and local winds. Once again children, depending upon the speed, features, their directions, the way they occur, winds are classified into three types. So what are the three types of winds? Planetary winds, seasonal winds and local winds. Now let us discuss about planetary winds first. So these are the planetary winds. In the picture you can see the globe and how that is the movement of the arrow marks. What you can see there is the movement of the wind, and those are the planetary winds. Actually planetary winds occurring on the planet as a whole throughout the year. Complete whole year the winds will be occurring, and those winds are called as planetary winds. The name itself is saying that over the complete planet whole year the winds will be blowing, and those winds are called as planetary winds. So the wind formed between the global pressure belts are called planetary winds. And again planetary winds are divided into three types: trade winds, westerlies and polar easterlies. Trade winds, depending upon the movement of the wind, in the olden days traders used to move in a particular direction, so they have named it as trade winds. Westerlies, westerlies are they blow from west to east direction, and so they are called as westerlies. And polar regions experience very cold winds now, so they blow from east, and so they are called as polar easterlies. And next one is seasonal winds. So in these seasonal winds, in our country we can see monsoon type of climate, and the winds which blow here are called as monsoon winds. The name monsoon is derived from the Arabic word called as mausim or mausam, which means season or wind shift. So this is a Arabic word children. Urdu word will say na. So it is a Arabic word, and from that mausim this word monsoon was derived. And the traders from Arab countries, when they used to travel to the Asian countries at that time, because of these winds only they used to come. At that time they have used the word mausam, and which means monsoon. So these are the seasonal winds. And again seasonal winds are divided into two types: northeast monsoon and southwest monsoon. And existence of monsoon is due to differential cooling of land and sea. Summer monsoon develops over northwestern part of India, while southeast trade across the equator. As a result of Coriolis effect already we have discussed in the previous video. It becomes southwest monsoon in the peninsular India and adjacent countries. So southwest monsoon are the very important winds when the rainy season starts in our country. The rainy season starts because of the southwest monsoon. And today we are experiencing the cyclonic effect, and these cyclonic effects are because of the northeast monsoons. Some depressions will be formed on the seas and oceans. Example, take Bay of Bengal only. Some depression will be formed in the Bay of Bengal, and then it will be turned into cyclone. The winds which are formed because of the depression will be moving towards the northeast direction, and again the winds which are coming from Himalayas will make these winds to come back. So these are called as reversal of the winds also. Because of those winds, because of the depression which is formed in the Bay of Bengal, the cyclones will occur. So these are because of the northeast monsoons. Mostly in the month of October, November, there will be a lot of cyclonic effect in the coastal states of India. That too mainly to the east coastal states. So this is because of the northeast monsoons. And next one is local winds. Local winds blow due to local variation in the temperature and pressure and influence a very small area. Depending upon the temperature of the particular place, the winds will be blowing locally, and so they are called as local winds. And hot local winds rise the temperature of the area, and cold local winds sometimes they bring the temperature to the affected area below the freezing point also. So hot areas, if the temperature is more, hot winds will be blowing, and if the temperature is cool, cold winds will blow and make the temperature to become very less also compared to the temperature what the area have. So these are because of land breeze and sea breeze, mountain and valley breeze, chinook winds, loo winds, all these are called as local winds. So these local winds, because of these local winds, the temperature variation also will be there in the local area. So understand children? So three types of winds we have discussed. What are the three types of winds? Planetary winds, seasonal winds and local winds. Planetary winds occurring on the whole planet throughout the year, and seasonal wind, they are restricted to seasonal in character. They will be blowing in a particular season only. And local winds, they will be blowing in a particular area depending upon the temperature. So they are named with the local names only, like Mistral, Bora, Lu, Chinook, Puna, Pampero. All these are the different types of local winds. And if you see in your textbook in page number 44, you can see the winds. The picture is also there. So hot local winds are Chinook and Lu, and cold local winds are Mistral, Puna and Pampero. These will be blowing in a different regions. So go through this children. So once if you read the textbook also, you can understand the complete content. So don't leave reading the textbook. Compulsory you should read the textbook also. So when the video is going, at the same time if you go through the textbook, you can understand the video very easily. So let us move to the next topic. The next topic is weather and climate. So what is the difference between weather and climate? Normally we use the word that today the weather is too cool, isn't it children? And after some days or before we'll say that today the weather is too hot. So what is the difference between the weather and climate? Let us see that. So here the differences between weather and climate is given. What is weather? Short term state of the atmosphere, and climate is long term pattern of weather. So today it is cool. So if the cool conditions continuously is there for a much longer period of time, then it is called as a climate. So if the weather conditions sustain for a longer period of time, then it is called as a climate. And what is weather? Weather is the atmospheric condition changing time to time. Now it is too cool. After some time it may be rainy also. After some time it may be cloudy. So this is called as weather. Weather will be short time. It won't be long period of time. It will be changing continuously. But what is climate? Climate is the weather conditions maintaining for a long period of time. It will be changing only in the long run process. Can vary from time to time or location to location. And climate long term, that is more than 30 years also it will be there. And always include time and location in weather. And in climate, average weather over many years in one specific place. So I already said, in a particular specific place, the weather conditions will be remaining for a long period of time. Then only it is called as a climate. And weather is that only it will be a short time period. Understand children the difference between weather and climate? Once again, weather is for a short period of time. That is, the atmospheric conditions in a place, if it remains for a short period of time, then it is called as a weather. And what is climate? If the same weather conditions continued for a long period of time, almost more than 30 years, then that is called as a climate. So here we have the basic elements of weather and climate. So in your textbook only 5 are given, but I am giving the sixth one also. Just you can add that, otherwise leave it and go through the according to the textbook also. So what are the elements of weather and climate? What are these elements actually? These elements describe the how the weather conditions are there, or the weather climatic conditions are in a particular area. Temperature, humidity, clouds, precipitation, air pressure, and wind. These six are called as elements of weather and climate. In your textbook, clouds is not given. Only the remaining five are given. They have given in your textbook only pressure. It is nothing but air pressure only. So, what are the basic elements of weather and climate, children? Temperature, humidity, clouds, precipitation, air pressure, and winds. So these are called as elements of weather and climate. So you use these to describe climate also, as you will see soon. So these are also called as elements of both weather and climate. It implies for both the weather and climate. So the next topic what we are going to see is humidity. So what is humidity, children? Mostly in summer season, we feel a lot of humid weather conditions. So let us see what is humidity. Humidity is the amount of water vapor in the air. If there is a lot of water vapor in the air, the humidity will be high. The higher the humidity, the wetter it feels outside. On the weather reports, humidity is usually explained as relative humidity. So, the water vapor which is present in the air is called humidity. Example, in the summer season, evening time, if we go to beach, because we have beach, so if we go to beach, how we will feel? We feel so sultry, and even the sticky conditions, if you touch our skin, it will be so sticky also, and such a type of conditions are called as humid conditions. Even in the weather also, means even in the atmosphere, we can see that like fog like structure substance will be there. Actually it is completely the water vapor, because we are very near to the big water bodies like seas and oceans. At that time, morning completely evaporation process has occurred in the summer season. Lot of evaporation will occur in the summer season. Because of that, lot of water vapor will be there in the atmosphere. So this atmosphere contains this water vapor, and so it is called as humidity. So the higher the humidity, the wetter it feels outside. If humidity is more, we feel so wetter. Wetter means some sort of wetness upon our body, like we feel sticky, I said na. So we feel some uneasy conditions also. So mostly the humidity is usually explained in relative humidity only. So what is this relative humidity? It is a ratio between two things. Those are maximum water vapor that the air can hold at a given temperature and pressure, and second one is the actual amount of water vapor it holds at any given time. If you want to see this, in page number 46 in your textbook, there are 2 points of relative humidity, so you can go through that. So next, this is the instrument called as hygrometer. It is an instrument to measure the water vapor of the air. That is, to measure the humidity, we use this instrument called as hygrometer. So it is used to measure the amount of water vapor in air, in soil, or in confined spaces. Humidity measurement instruments usually rely on measurements of some other quantity such as temperature, pressure, mass, a mechanical or electrical change in a substance as moisture is absorbed. So it is mostly used to measure all these things. So this is the main instrument which will be measuring the humidity in the atmosphere. How much percentage of humidity is there? It will be using for measuring the humidity. So the instrument is hygrometer. So next let us discuss about condensation. So what is condensation? So condensation is the opposite of evaporation. Evaporation is the changing of liquid to vapor state. That is called as condensation. So what is condensation here? So condensation is completely changing the water to some droplets of water will be formed out of it. That is called as condensation. So let us see that. The process by which water vapor changes from gas to liquid. Understand, children? Evaporation is changing of liquid to gas, and condensation is changing of gas to liquid. That is called as condensation. So we have a lot we experience mostly the condensation at our home also. How we will explain it? Condensation occurs on the outer side of a glass as moisture in the air is getting in contact with a cold surface. When water vapor condenses on surfaces such as plants, we get dew. So this is a winter season, and in the winter season, in the morning time, if you see, some dew drops will be seen on the leaves also. So that is also a part of condensation. So once see this picture, you can see a glass of chilled water. So when we are taking some sort of cool drinks or anything in the summer season, when we pour this cool drink on a glass, what will happen? Because of the coolness, outside of the glass we can see some sort of water droplets. This is nothing but the condensation, changing of the gas to the liquid form. This process is called as condensation. Even clouds also have this condensation. Then only the water vapor which is there in the clouds will be changing to liquid again, and again it will be releasing into the onto the earth again. So this process is called as condensation. Understand, children? I hope that everyone have understand the topic today, and will continue the remaining part of the lesson in next video. And here is your assignment. How many types of winds are there? What are they? How is the word monsoon derived? Write the differences between climate and weather. Explain humidity. What is condensation? So complete this assignment, children, and meet you in next video. Thank you.